Yo, what up everybody, and welcome to the very first video that I have up on this YouTube channel. Now today I got lined up for y'all a couple ranked 3v3 Wi-Fi battles in Pokemon Sword and Shield. But before we jump into that, I want to give y'all a quick tidbit about myself because this is my first video. I want to introduce y'all to myself, who I am, what I'm about, what I'm going to do with this channel and all that. If y'all want to skip that, there's going to be a timestamp and y'all could just go ahead to that little marker in the video and jump straight into the narration in the battle. But with that having been said, hi, nice to meet y'all. My name is Tanzim. Y'all can call me Taz. And about 7 or 8 years ago, I used to do both competitive Pokemon and YouTube videos. I used to do YouTube videos about competitive Pokemon. But as I played the game more and as I made more YouTube videos, I kind of started getting bored with doing both. So I kind of just stopped both. Until basically recently where I picked up Sword and Shield. And I've just been getting back into competitive. I've been on Showdown recently, putting together teams, trying to climb the ladder, learning the meta and all that. And as you can tell, I've been getting into the 3v3 rank format. I'm actually a big fan of this 3v3 rank format, as opposed to 6v6. It might be a controversial opinion, but I do me, you know what I'm saying? But that's enough about me. I'm going to just jump into the battle. As you guys can see from the team preview, I'm running a very standard Sun team. It does this thing. It's really self-explanatory. I got a Torkoal that comes in to set up the Sun. And then I got a Venusaur that can just set up a growth with Life Orb and just kill everything. I'm looking at the opponent's team. I'm not really too worried about this guy, to be honest, just because Venusaur and Gyarados basically just runs through the whole team, and the Torkoal just is there as support. So that's a 3 that I'm going to lead off with. Only Pokemon that I'm worried about on the other team is that Togekiss, because it could be Scarfed and it could be running, the stupid, annoying Serene Grace flinch strat. That's the most annoying thing in the world. But I digress. Now let's just jump into it. Now this battle is a post narration. This is not live, and it is edited. I edited it to sort of emulate the versus recorder as best as I can. The editing might be a little bit jarring. Just bear with me as I sort of learn this process again. But enough about that. This person is going to lead off with the extra drill as I go with the Gyarados. Now, very first turn, I know this extra was going to switch out, but it's the first turn, so I didn't want to do anything too overzealous. I didn't set up the Dragon Dance. I went for the safe play and with the Waterfall as he switches on to the Aegis Slash. It ends up not being that big of a play, that bad of a play, because I get some good damage off, and I know he's going to go for the King Shield just because he wants the attack drop. So I go for the Dragon Dance, set up in this guy's face, and honestly, baby, this is just looking like a clean sweep. I go for the Earthquake, Shield Former, no, that Aegis Slash is dead, just straight up gone, and I get the Moxie boost. I'm +2 attack, +1 speed. This is just not looking too good for my opponent. They bring out the Cinderace, they Dynamax here. I mean, it's just really not going to matter. I outspeed the Cinderace. He's going to get his stupid little HP boost. He's going to do his little slide thing and, like, scream at the top of his lungs or whatever. He just did all that so he could die, bro. Like, he came out, got all big, just so he could die to a +2 waterfall, bro. This is looking a little bit iffy for my opponent. Now I'm +3 attack with another Moxie boost, and I'm +1 speed. Brings back out the extra drill, and, Molberg activates. It doesn't really matter. I didn't have to, but I decided Dynamax because I know this video is going to be on YouTube, and I just want to flex on my man real quick. I had to arrive on YouTube with a splash. So I Dynamax, and I go for the Max Geyser for the kill, and that's literally in the entire battle. He goes for the Horn Drill, but I'm pretty sure, like, the Horn Drill or any of those OHKO moves, like Sheer Cold and stuff like that, I don't think they affect you when you're Dynamax. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't quote me on that. But it doesn't matter, He misses, it doesn't work with Dynamax Pokemon, doesn't really matter. I hit the Max Geyser, he dies, and that's my victory. Now we all hop into the next battle, and it's pretty much the same story. I'm using the same team, the same Sun team, and this is gonna be largely the same strategy. Like, look at the team. The Ice Cube Mimikyu combo does kind of bother me just because they have the Disguise and the Ice Face combination, and Dynamaxing doesn't really mean he needs a Weather setupper. But I'm not really too stressed. I go with the same team. I bring out the Gyarados, I bring out the Torkoal, I bring out the Venusaur. I lead with the Gyarados again, because Gyarados is just a good lead. If he leads off with the Ice Cube, which most likely he wasn't going to, it would have been bad for me. But he ends up with leading off with the Lucario, which, perfect, So, he goes for the Rock Tomb, which, unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that Rock Tomb had like 100% speed drop rate. But so you guys are going to see why that's going to matter. I go for the Earthquake. I'm -1 speed, so this thing's obviously outspeeds me. And he comes around with the Focus Sash or something. Who carries Focus Sash on the card? I don't want to say. These battles are not the highest quality just because this is an Ultra Ball tier. Anyways, The reason why I mentioned that rock tomb thing is because I thought it was like a 30 to 40% chance to drop speed. I mean, you don't really encounter rock tomb, so you know, I don't really know too much about it. So I'm thinking I'm gonna Dynamax, go for the max airstream, kill this thing, get the Moxie boost, and get my speed back up to the neutral. But I end up being -1 because he got off 2 rock tombs and got me to -2. So I end up just wasting my Dynamax, and I'm sweating bullets at this point. I'm like, yo, bro, did I just lose this battle in front of YouTube? But thankfully, it doesn't work out that way, as you guys will see. He brings out the Rotom. I go for the Max Guard just to see what he wants to do. He's either going to go for the Volt Switch or the Thunderbolt. He's going for the Thunderbolt, and the better play there would have been to probably sack Gyarados, but I end up switching out into Torkoal just so I can set up the Sun and bring in the Venusaur to sort of sweep. And then he goes for the Thunderbolt, and that does way too much damage. So I'm thinking he specs. So I leave Torkoal in to sack it, and I bring out the Venusaur. Thunderbolt specs is not going to do too much, so he switches out into the Ice Cube as I just set up the growth in this thing's face. And this is just looking like a GG. I carry Weather Ball on this Venusaur, so whatever this Ice Cube does, it's Chlorophyll, it's a Life Orb Venusaur. I outspeed, and I'm just gonna destroy this Ice Cube. He's gonna Dynamax just like the Cinderace before. Dynamax so he could die to this Weather Ball from this nasty Venusaur. He comes in, he dies just like the Cinderace before. I take some Life Orb damage and brings out the Rotom. I go for the Giga Drain, and that is another sweep. I mean, this isn't like a clean 3-0 sweep, but Venusaur came in, did his job, and that's all I want to see. This Venusaur, by the way, is not Gigantamax. I know it doesn't end up mattering. These battles did happen after the DLC came out, but the Venusaur is not Gigantamax. So this is the third and final battle, and as you guys can see, I'm using a different team. I'm using Grassy Surge Rillaboom with Hawlucha holding Grassy Seed to activate the Unburden. This is actually a very standard team, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been seeing it on Showdown a lot ever since the Galarian Pokemon got their hidden abilities. On the other side, they have the Cinderace with Libero. And that thing is just a giant threat to my team. No matter who I bring, I obviously cannot bring Ferrothorn just because, I mean, Pyro Ball just kills him automatically, physically defensive or not. Gardevoir doesn't do much just because of the Dragapult. The Dragapult is going to be able to just... My Gardevoir is special defensive, as you guys can see with the Assault Vest. Might be a bit of an unorthodox moveset, but I highly recommend you guys try it out. I'll leave the team in the description, by the way. I'll leave all the teams that I've used in the description. You guys can go ahead and check them out on Showdown or whatever. This is especially defensive Gardevoir, but even then, Dragapult is just too much of a monster for me to like even want to bring in the Gardevoir. So I'm gonna just go with what the team was made for. It was made to let Hawlucha come in and swoop after the Grassy Surge. It's set up by Rillaboom, so I'm gonna bring out the Rillaboom. I'm gonna bring out the Hawlucha, and I'm gonna bring in the Toxapex to deal with that Cinderace, which is going to be a massive threat. So let's just get into it. Let's just see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, this is a very good team that I came up with. I'm not going to lie to you. I've had very good success with it. But 3v3 is a whole different beast just because you're forced to half your team. So half of the function that you had in mind when you made the team in Showdown is just gone. So you have to make the teams with 3v3 in mind. I made some adjustment to it in the game, but we'll see how it goes. So he leads off with the Rotom, and I lead off with my Rillaboom, as I said. I go for the Wood Hammer. He decides to stay in for some reason, and I just get the KO. I outspeed, which is nice. I know it's not standard practice to run max speed on Rotom, but sometimes I run into it. Anyways, he switches out into the Cinderace as I switch out into the Toxapex while this thing do the Toxapex's job. He decides to Dynamax, and I'm kind of sweating bullets. I'm not gonna lie to you because he can just spam max Airstreams, max Knuckles, whatever he wants, and get whatever boost you want. Neither Rillaboom nor Hawlucha wants to switch into this thing. So my only option here is to just sack the Toxapex. He goes with max Airstream, gets his +1 speed. I'm still not stressed just because Hawlucha with Unburden is going to be able to outspeed a +1 Cinderace. But if he still goes for another max Airstream, it's not going to be good for me. So he goes for the max Lightning, just finish me off. That does so much damage to a physically defensive Toxapex. I mean, Cinderace is just a monster, man. Oh my god. I know he's Dynamax and everything, but 2-hit KO on a Toxapex is just insane. Now, I make a massive misplay. I did mention that I'm new to this game, so I completely forgot that the terrain got switched. So I switched out to the Hawlucha, and thankfully it does not end up being as big of a misplay as it seemed, because I have to switch right back onto the Rillaboom to set up the grassy terrain. If he had gone for the max Lightning instead of the max Airstream there, I was done. There was nothing else I could have done. I couldn't, if I had switched back into Hawlucha and then switched back on into Rillaboom, like, his Dynamax turns are over, but I would just be taking way too much chip damage for my Pokemon to even be viable. His Dynamax thankfully runs out. I switch on to Rillaboom, get to Grassy Terrain, he goes with Max Airstream, it works out for me. Switch back onto the Hawlucha, and I Dynamax here. And thankfully I make a massive misplay, but it ends up not being a detriment to me. I end up Dynamaxing, he goes to Electro Ball, which is what gave him Max Lightning. It's odd to see Cinderace run Electro Ball, but hey, I mean, he does what he does. I mean, more power to him. I go to Max Airstream, I get the +1, you know, why not, outspeed this guy. I'm not really too sure if Max Cycle would have done more damage. Actually, no. The reason why Max Airstream didn't do as much because his type was electric, so it was not very effective. That makes more sense. But I get the +1 outspeed Dexter before he switches his types again. I go for the Max Cycle, get the +1 attack as he switches, and I kill the Cinderace. He brings in the Dragapult, I go for the Max Airstream, and that is a dead Dragapult, and that is another win in my book. That's 3 for 0, and I'm one more win away from the Master Ball tier. But I'm going to end the video over here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys liked it. This is my first video in a long time. So I'm sort of relearning the things that used to be second nature to me. So I hope you guys bear with me. If you guys liked it, leave a like, subscribe, comment, whatever, do your thing. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.